After I did this and I went to get me a cup of coffee, I thought about it and I realized that I could have added a little bit more flair to this, and that means what I want to see is a fade of that shadow, because as it gets further away, the shadow is not as deep. So here's how you do that, and that's using the gradient, which is something you want to learn. So let's look at my layers. Here are my layers. My layers, I have one layer for the wheel. I'm going to lock that up. I have a layer for the GA. I'm going to lock that up. And right now I have the layer for the shadow. So there's the shadow. Now you see it, now you don't. The shadow layer has the transparency on right there. So I'm going to turn it back on 100%. I'm going to make sure my color is black. My fill color is black. There it is. It's all black, right? There we have it. Now I'm going to make a copy of this group, which is those layers right there. I'm going to make a copy of that. All the parts that make this shadow, I'm going to make a copy by going up here to the menu, say duplicate group. And I'm going to turn one of them off so that so I made a copy so that I can save it in case I decide not to change my mind, I want a solid. So I'm working with this one group, the top group. That's going to be the fade group. Let's call it gradient group. Done. So the gradient group layer, I'm going to go to my gradient window and click inside the gradient. Bam! There it is. That's not a bad look either. So I realized a couple of things. One is that my gradient has two different gradients going on because they're two different shapes. So before I continue on, I'm going to make all these shapes one shape by going to my Pathfinder and making it all one shape. There we go. That's much better. Now I'll go back to my gradient tool, and I need to switch. I want the darkness to be on the left and the faded out to be on the right. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go like that, and they have traded spaces. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give it an angle because right now it's flush left to right. So my angle is going to go here. And I want a 45-degree angle. A 45-degree angle has changed it. Now the fade coming from the top left going to the bottom right. But that's too steep. So I'm going to make it like a 35. That's better. Now that I have that, I go back to my layer, GA shadow layer. I select that, and that means that anything on the side of that layer will be affected by what I'm going to do next. I'm going to go to transparency, go to normal, and go to multiply. And I'm still going to turn it down because it's very dark, so maybe 50%. And there you have that. Save it. What do you think about that? Better, right? It was already cool, but now it's better.
It's more quality.
That's right. And that is another video. Thank you very much.